How do guys who are basically E-rank Sungjin Woo get all the way up to Shadow Monarch Sungjin Woo in such little time? And how did I go from an absolute goober to the Asian Markiplier GigaChad you see now on screen? Well, today I'm going to tell you exactly how I did it, my story, and what the hell I learned, and how you can possibly get a protagonist glow up just like I did yourself. And by the way, welcome to Weeb Talk. Now, I wasn't always the anime nerd, calisthenics, self-improvement glow-up guy you see on screen. I used to look like this. Yeah, I used to be quite the Asian nerd who didn't work out. There wasn't really anything special about me other than I was a Chinese student, so I was good at math. And at the time, I felt that I was enough as a person. You know, I was getting okay grades, like I'm passing my classes, I'm doing decently well, I have friends that I can hang out with, I'm not a complete loser, right? And that was what I felt. But when I look back on my life, I could see that I was kind of a loser. I barely went outside. The only time I hung out with people was at school. I played video games all day, watching anime all day, sometimes indulging in that sweet corn. But I didn't think anything of it. I didn't think that I needed to be any more than I was. And I had a girlfriend at the time, which was pretty awesome. When you're in school and you have a girlfriend, you're just the coolest, you're the coolest kid in class. Well, that unfortunately all changed. When I was in the summer before the final year of high school, I was broken up with. I got my heart broken and it was devastating. And like most guys who start working out, this is typically the spark, right? They get into working out because of a heartbreak. And that's exactly what happened to me. Now, mind you, I've been trying to get in shape beforehand, but I always started something and then gave up. I already started lifting weights. So I always go, you see me on the bicep curls, you see me trying to do the shoulder press, using random machines that I didn't know what to do with. Absolutely zero form of programming, no routine, just trying stuff. And it was honestly, like most guys, it's mostly the biceps and most of the abs people work on. It's nothing else when they start going to the gym. But I never stayed consistent with it. Now I got my heart broken. Now I've got a fire under my ass to do something with myself because I felt, shoot, I'm the lowest I can feel right now. I really need to get out of this rut, but I don't want to go to a gym. So what do? And that is when I discovered the beauty that was calisthenics. And I didn't have any equipment to start with. All I had was an unfinished basement and maybe some chairs, a little bit of furniture, and since it was unfinished, I had like exposed steel girders that I could hang on. So I didn't have anything, but for the first probably month or so, like 6 weeks, I started developing my strength. I started doing some at-home ab workouts. I started doing push-ups, and still there was no structure. I was just doing stuff. I was just trying stuff without any guidance. It was just seeing stuff online, like, ooh, what's a cool calisthenics exercise I can do, and then just trying it. I wasn't trying to do like a number of exercise. I was just doing reps. I wasn't even counting reps. I was just doing it. And it was kind of working. Even without the structure, it was okay, right? And then I would be like cutting my hands basically on the steel girders, just trying to do pull-ups. I could barely do any pull-ups back then. And just trying to do pull-ups and just thinking to myself, ugh, she's gonna regret breaking up with me. I'm gonna be so cool. And eventually I continued working out. My parents saw, oh, he's kind of serious this time. Not like the other times where he went to the gym and came back an absolute sweaty mass. No, he's serious this time. So for Christmas, they bought me my first pull-up bar, which is actually the same pull-up bar that you see in the video. Hold on a sec. Hold on a minute. I just want to show, like that, where is it? That pull-up bar right there is the same pull-up bar my parents got me for Christmas 7 years ago, and it's been with me forever. Isn't that crazy? So I continue to work out. I continue to work hard on my body, on my strength, on my physique. And it got better over time, and it was starting to actually flourish. And I thought, now I am peak human. I have athleticism. I'm strong. My physique is getting so much better. I'm getting bigger. I'm filling out my t-shirts. I look awesome. And now I'm known as the fit guy. People know me as the fit guy in university and school. Now, the big problem was that I once again felt I didn't need to be better than I was before because I was working out. I thought that's enough. I'm still hot. I'm still amazing, right? But I wasn't. I was really still a loser. I just had more muscles. There were still so many things that I could have improved, like my social skills. I was still single. My clothing sucked. I barely took care of my appearance, my hair. I didn't care about my hair. Speaking of hair, just don't mind this. I haven't gotten a cut in a while, and don't mind this. It's November, so I'm not allowed to shave. But if you think this looks good, let me know in the comments, and maybe I'll keep it after November's over. Or maybe I won't. We'll see. So, as I was saying, I was working out, I was having a great time, but I couldn't figure out one thing. Why am I still single? And during my time in university, I have tried several things. I've tried to go on Hinge. I've tried to go out to like clubs and such to be a little more social and try to talk to people, but that never worked. I was still an awkward mess. And I even tried to like glow up by saying, oh, I'm gonna get some new pants, which is basically, I got new pants, but they were the same style as my old stuff, so nothing improved. And then next thing you know, COVID happened, so I'm stuck inside. I can't talk to people in public, and I've lost all of my social skills basically, just chilling inside, still playing video games all day, still watching anime, still indulging in sweet corn. And honestly, that was kind of a dark period for me because I felt so lonely, even though I was online all the time. And it felt like I was degrading. I was working out still, like I wasn't getting fat, but I felt like I'm going into like a job that I don't really like. I'm single. I don't have really good social skills anymore. It's like, or to begin with, like, what am I actually doing? But for some reason, those thoughts didn't make me want to change. What made me want to change was when I tore my pec long time ago. I don't know why it was that moment that made me want to change, but it was. And at that moment when, I felt even more alone, I was absolutely devastated. I lost, not only do I not have a girlfriend, I don't have social skills, I feel lonely. Now I can't even work out because this thing's toast. So now I have nothing. And that was the moment when I realized, wow, life can change really fast, just like that. I gotta make the most of it as much as possible. So what did I do? I started getting into self-improvement. That's when I started watching YouTubers like Hamza. Was it just Hamza? That's when I started getting into all of the self-improvement YouTubers, right? And I think I became red-pilled for like a few months because I was really getting into that stuff. Like, oh, you gotta be mysterious as a man. You gotta learn to be okay with yourself, like be at peace with yourself. You gotta meditate, you gotta journal, you gotta take cold showers. Oh, you need to eat well. You can't, no fap, you can't fap. That ain't a thing anymore. I even started working on my glow up. I actually dug deep and got serious about all of the glow up stuff. I looked into skincare routines. I looked into fashion YouTubers, like male fashion YouTubers are like, hey, this is how you make a simple outfit. This is how you choose an aesthetic. This is how you make, this is how you have a good composition. This is how you pick a right haircut. I dove super deep into that stuff that I pretended. I very much pretended that I was one of these YouTubers, like, I'm putting on some Walmart pants, black chinos, I'm putting on the white t-shirt, coverall, I'm looking fresh, do my hair like this, I'm ready to go. And I went so far into the deep end, I kind of alienated some of my friends just getting into all of that content. And when I did get into it, and I went so deep into it that I stopped being myself for quite a while. Like in the beginning of 2023, I was basically adopting an identity that I didn't really identify with. It was what I thought I should have identified with, but in reality, I was covering up my insecurities. That was around the same time when I started talking to this girl, and I think she could tell I was being pretty fake because I was trying to put on this masculine persona, like hyper masculine, red pill, Andrew Tate persona. And she was not buying it. Only until I started to be like, you know what? Some of these like red pill principles, like trying to be more masculine, working on yourself, working on your purpose, finding your why, I started to pick and choose which ones I felt were actually helping me versus what they were telling me to do. Because the thing about self-improvement is that when you get into it, you think, oh, I have to do all these things. But that's not the point. The point of self-improvement isn't to do this every day and be like this monk, like go in monk mode, right? The point is to find, okay, what thing are they doing that I can use to solve a problem that I have? And that's what I did instead. So I took everything that applied to me, everything that would work for me, and I started to be myself more. And as I learned to be myself and just be honest with the self-improvement techniques that were actually working for me, that's when my masculinity started to emerge even better. That's when my confidence started to improve even better. It was when I could be myself while improving all of the stuff that I actually needed to improve and not doing random useless noise like cold showers. I don't do that. I don't give a damn. And any other like garbage that the self-improvement niche is promoting that I don't really subscribe to, just getting rid of that and just focusing on what works, that's what made everything pop. And guess what? That girl, my current girlfriend today. So win-win. And since then, I've started to be more disciplined. I've started to work on myself more, be on my phone less, like make it actively try to get away from my phone, actively try to play less video games, and start actually becoming a man. That's when I realized like I don't want to be a kid. I'm basically a kid living in my mom's basement. I'm gonna be a man. Like I'm gonna step up and start sacrificing the things that don't necessarily benefit me. And during that time, I wanted to work on something else that wasn't my job because I wanted to escape that 9 to 5. You know how it is, escape the 9 to 5. So I thought the best way to do that would be to chase an acting career. Wow, no, don't do that. So I have been passionate about acting since I was a kid. I've done plays and maybe 1 or 2 short films, but I never got seriously into it until 2023. So that year when I wanted to improve myself. I thought that was my ticket to escaping the matrix and getting rich, becoming famous, and having all of the pleasure and the wealth of the world with me. It was not the case. Acting was not it. And to top it all off, when I graduated from my university with a computer science degree, I couldn't find a job at all. My acting career was slowing down. Even though I had a little bit more experience, I was working on it hard, it was slowing down completely. And I couldn't find a job. So what do I do? Well, I took everything that I learned before. I didn't settle down and think, I can't be better than I am now. I decided, you know what, maybe I can be better than I was before. So I thought, I need to make a change. Or at least I need to do something with my life until I can find a proper job or kick off my acting career. And that is when I uploaded my very first YouTube video, Train Like Toji at Home, No Weights. And I think you guys know where it goes from there. I started getting more into creating content, becoming a content creator, getting more into the business side of things, how to monetize my content. That's when I met my amazing editor. That's when I started making better connections and advancing my career in this. I don't even think about acting anymore. That's when I started watching new YouTubers who were all business oriented, like Alex Hermosi, Ali Abdal. That can't be it. And all of that led me to where I am now. Someone who is physically fit, more confident, still working on self-improvement, and actively working on a business, a content creation, fitness business that has helped me to quit my 9 to 5, escape the matrix. Now I'm just focusing on what else I need to work on, what else do I need to improve, and where do I go from here? Now I know I just rambled a bunch of like words to you, taking you from Asian loser to this guy right here. So here are the lessons that you can take away from this and stuff that I wish I knew sooner. One, you're probably a cool dude, but there's always something to improve. My worst moments in life was when I felt I did not need to grow. When I felt that I was enough. I don't need to improve myself anymore. I'm at the peak of where I am. When in reality, looking back, it's like I'm looking down on myself at like the sort of like the middle point of the mountain. It's like, you've got such a long way to go. And you could be better. You could be more. The second thing I wish I told myself sooner was, if you want to change, you cannot wait for it to happen, and you cannot be thinking about it to happen. You have to actually do it. I would rather you tomorrow try to work on something without thinking about it than think about something forever without ever working on it. When I was first starting to work out, I could have thought, oh, well, how do I optimize this and that? How do I get into the gym and maximize performance? No, I literally just went and did random exercises without any structure to get me started. I didn't think about it, but I did the actions. Now, if you think, the guy who's thinking about working out versus the guy who's doing random workouts, who do you think is going to grow more? This guy will never do it. This guy, he's just going in and learning as he goes. And the same thing when it came to self-improvement. I just dove in, did random stuff. I made the mistakes. I dove too far in. I became a pretty weird person getting into all the red pill stuff. And then diving back, like reeling back a little bit to finally get to where I am. I made mistakes, but I allowed myself to make the mistakes because I wanted to take action. I needed to take action. I couldn't just like think about it for months and months and months. I had to step in and get my toes wet so that I could actually improve. And the same thing with YouTube and my business. I had to just do it. I couldn't think about like, oh, what's the perfect first video? There is no perfect first video. If you're gonna make a video, just make a video and learn as you go. That's what I did. I made plenty of bad videos and I think I'm doing pretty good now. The last thing I wish that I had before I started my entire protagonist glow up journey was having someone to guide me. I've had plenty of like YouTubers like Hamza, Alex Hormozi, Ali Abdaal to help me and give me that guidance through their content. But if I had someone who was like in my ear saying, okay, instead you need to do this. Don't do this because you're gonna make a mistake there. I've been there before. You need to do this instead. Okay, you're at this point. All right, there's two options you can go with. These are blah, 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 blah. Someone to like help mentor me, which is exactly what I want to give you guys. Right now, I am looking for 30 anime nerds over the age of 20 to help them unlock their anime physiques, get that main character mindset, and achieve that protagonist glow up. So if that sounds like you, and you want to achieve that, then go ahead, click the link in the description, book a call with me, and we'll see if we're the right fit to work with each other. Because you can spend all day thinking about how you want to go from E-rank Sungjin Woo to S-rank Sungjin Woo, but that is not gonna matter if you don't take action. So take action, click the link in the description, and hopefully I will see you on the other side. But if you're just starting your fitness journey and you want to be able to grow your anime physique as fast as possible, then watch this video right here to find out the 5 ways you can force your body to grow muscle fast.